One piece of good news to come out of the pandemic was a dramatic increase in pet adoptions, with some animal rescues reporting that their adoption rates as much as doubled. I was part of that wave, adopting senior cat Tom Tom from the Ferndale Cat Shelter and Catfe last August. The Ferndale Catfe is a non-profit who have been busier than ever during COVID, although meeting those demands during a pandemic has had its own challenges.
In 2020, we did almost 1,000 individual adoptions. In 2019, we did just under 500, so more than a double, and still going. I mean, our first few months in 2021 have been really, really big as well, so we're on track to probably have a similar number this year if I had to guess.
The pandemic has been really hard on a lot of people, economically, but also psychologically, emotionally. People have had to give up their pets because they have had to give up a home or an apartment, but also people are suffering a lot of, emotional or psychological problems.
A lot of the municipal shelters were closed during the pandemic. We didn't have that option. It wasn't something that we even wanted to try to do. We needed to make ourselves available to the community, of people and of cats, to make sure that they got what they needed. We are a boutique rescue, if you want to call it that. I like the intimacy of how we connect our adopters with new family companions.
Different cats resonate with different people, and we sort of facilitate the matchmaking process.
We're trying to create a long-term match, not something that you're going to get the cat home and then 3 days later you're going to realize it's a disaster and it doesn't work for your family or your lifestyle. In the before times, when people wanted to adopt a cat, they would either come to the cafe and meet the cat, or they would go to the foster's home if the cat was in foster, do a meet and greet, and then myself or another volunteer would go to their home and do what we call our home visit. When COVID hit, we changed, for cats that are in foster, we did meet and greets virtually over FaceTime or Zoom. And then as far as how the Catfe has operated,
we restrict it by reservations, limiting the number of people who can come in here each hour. And we also have more cats in here for people to come visit. Almost twice as many as when we were open before the pandemic.
The biggest challenge that our adoption team has faced during the pandemic is just the demand. I mean, the applications come in constantly, and people get really upset if they don't hear back from you.
We subsist solely on donations. We're a 501c3. Having COVID, that kind of squashed a lot of that. We can't do our cat bingo. We can't do our cat yoga or cat Pilates, and our annual fundraiser was canceled last year.
We were lucky in that we received a grant last year from Petco, and that really saved us. We had to close the Cafe Lounge for 5 months out of the last 12. So we lost a lot of income with that. So that Petco grant really helped us to just survive.
And I know you saw an increase in adoptions. Did you also see more kind of people reaching out to support in other ways?
Oh yeah, lots of, everybody wanted to foster because everyone was stuck at home. So there's a lot of crossover. People that get involved in our organization want to help more, so that's really a gift. I think people discovered what is great and wonderful about adopting from a small shelter and having a relationship with a small shelter. It's like they're joining the family,